In the May release of the SnapLogic API management platform, we have strengthened the support for third-party and public APIs by providing businesses more flexibility and control in managing these APIs in SnapLogic. You can now share your third-party APIs on the developer portal, thus enabling more reach and value for your services created using these external APIs. You manage third-party APIs by creating a proxy and adding your endpoint to it. Click on New Proxy from the API Manager and set up the proxy. Provide the name, description, and tags for the proxy and proceed to add endpoints to the proxy. Endpoint name and URL that is used to invoke the proxy endpoint and HTTP method should be provided at this step. The proxy and endpoint is now set up. You can add mapping rules for routing requests to this proxy endpoint. Users can set up different conditions for routing their requests to target endpoints by configuring them in the mapping rules wizard. The supported conditions are HTTP method, query parameter, path, and expression. The authentication for the target endpoint can be noted by specifying which method should be used, like basic authentication, API key-based authentication, or no authentication. The location of the keys is also configurable, and it can be in the auth header, a custom header, or in the query parameter. Now let's take a look at an example. I have a proxy set up for searching an image catalog that accepts requests to a common endpoint as image catalog/search images. The proxy endpoint has mapping rules to route requests to various public APIs depending on the information provided in the request. I have configured 4 rules: a character rule that looks for a query parameter with character as key and value as iota and maps this request to a Jiffy API call with the necessary API key. The GIFs rule looks for the value GIF in the header and routes the call to a Jiffy API with a different query. Authentication is also provided for this API. The image rule looks for a value JPEG in the header and routes the call to a Google Map Search API with a query parameter. No authentication is provided for this rule. You can sort mapping rules and set their priority by dragging and reordering them in the UI. So now you have a API proxy endpoint routing your request to different public APIs based on parameters and inputs. This allows businesses to provide a common interface to clients and partners for interfacing with service endpoints, the details of which could be vastly different and complex. Now let's take a look at how you can publish a proxy endpoint to the developer portal. In the proxy manager with the endpoints you'd like to share, you can click on the Publish button to publish this proxy to the portal. This is similar to how you publish APIs and provide the API specification to use for documentation and the other information necessary for publishing in the Publish wizard. At this stage, you can publish and exit or allow this API to accept subscriptions and set up the configuration settings for that in that step. The proxy has been published to the portal, and you can view and administer this API from the portal manager. Let's have a look in the developer portal. You can see the published API in the API catalog, and the documentation for this API is available in the documentation page. Users can also subscribe to this API by creating an application and a subscription to access this API. Enabling self-service and discovery of APIs has never been easier. For more information about these features, please refer to our documentation page for the details. Thank you.